texted me the Instagram for Mo Doodlebob.
He's a doodle bop, not a doodle bob. I didn't know he had an Instagram.
Yeah, she texted me his name and was like, Mo was my favorite too. And
We love Queen Darlene. She's great. I think she's our number one fan, honestly. Thanks, Mom.
shout out to Amanda's mom for listening to this podcast, and shout out to my mom for not listening to this podcast.
Damn.
Didn't you tell me you had something to tell me about Darlene?
Okay, yes. Okay, so I think
Does it have anything to do with Mo Doodlebob's Instagram?
No, it does not have anything to do with It does not have anything to do with Mo Doodlebop's Instagram. Okay, so she texts me, right? She listened to the episode. She texts me Tuesday afternoon. It's just one short sentence. All I get is lazy town jumping guy. I'm just like, what is this supposed to mean? So I was busy. I was working. And then she called me after work. She's like, did you get my text? I'm like, yeah, what is that supposed to mean? She's like, you guys were talking about thirst edits. First off, I had to tell her what a thirst edit was. And she was like, she tried to Google. I was like, Mom, don't Google it. Don't do it. Just don't. I'll send you a couple. So I sent her a couple, like, tame ones with freaking, Pedro Pascal. And the other one was like a Joseph Quinn one. And I'm like, lazy town jumping guy. I'm like, do you mean Sporticus? She's like, yeah, that's his name. I'm just like, yes. So I can see Sporticus having a thirst edit made after him.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
There's a Sporticus thirst edit. I may or may not have it in my saved tab on TikTok.
That's so good.
Oh my god,
But yeah, I just get that text and I'm like, what does this mean?
lazy town jumping man.
Lazy town jumping guy.
Anytime I see a hot dude, I'm gonna like text you just with like no context, like your mother. Just be like, man with ponytail and half sleeve. Like, what does this mean? And I'm like, oh, this was just me reminding myself that I saw a hot dude today at Starbucks. Like,
I was just like, oh, so you're using me as a database to help you remember that?
lazy town jumping guy.
But yeah, I don't know why. So then like my brain was like, okay. And I just, started down the rabbit hole. Don't know why, because we were on that frame of mind last week with the freaking thirst edits and childhood movies and, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I got to that point, but have you ever seen the 1998 cinematic classic Quest for Camelot?
You mean Monty Python?
No, it's called Quest for Camelot.
What the fuck is this?
It had the two-headed dragon and
Pete?
What?
Pete's Dragon?
No! It's called Quest for Camelot.
I have never seen this.
So basically, it's knockoff Disney. Quest for Camelot. It had a stellar cast. You've never seen this movie. This surprises me. Because I feel like you've talked to me about quite a few obscure movies that I've never heard of.
I've also seen like 10 movies total.
You've seen more than 10 movies.
Okay, 11.
But no, it's like, so it's got the one girl, her name is Kaylee, and she's trying to go save Camelot because her dad's not around anymore. And Miss Kaylee is played by the actress that plays Miss Terry Schuster from Glee. And then
Cheating, line stealing Terry Schuster is out here trying to save Camelot because her dad abandoned her.
But it made me think of childhood crushes because I used to love this movie. Because I had definitely had a crush on the one character. His name was Garrett. He was played by Cary Elwes.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Princess Bride himself.
That is like so standard.
So this is how my brain made sense of all of this. But it's a fantastic movie. I don't know if it still holds up now. I haven't watched it as an adult. But like it's got Miss Terry Schuster, Mr. Cary Elwes, Gary Oldman, Jane Seymour. They got Celine Dion singing.
Oh, and you know when Celine Dion's on the track. Oh,
They got Steve Perry singing for King Arthur. Like from Journey.
Tyler?
No, Steve Perry. The guy from Journey.
Medea?
No.
Medea saves Camelot.
Sure.
Medea saves Camelot.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Okay, so apparently this is a weird childhood movie I have to have you watch then. So
Yeah.
stay tuned, everybody, for Carly's thoughts on Quest for Camelot. If you too know about this movie, please send an email to the Between the Fringes podcast email so I know that I am not alone in my childhood love for this movie.
Well, hey, speaking of the outro being inappropriately placed at the beginning of the episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 10th inaugural episode of the Between the Fringes podcast. My name is Carly.
I'm Amanda.
And our third host today is 2 digits. We have officially hit double digits of the podcast. Congratulations, y'all. You made it.
10 episodes.
You made it, kids. I'm going to see if I can put some, applause in the background. Just,
yay! So what? We're old enough to be in middle school now. Yay!
I was in 5th grade when I was 10.
5th grade, 6th grade. I couldn't quite remember. But.
Yeah, I think I was I'm pretty sure I was 10 years old in the
5th grade.
5th grade.
Dude.
I don't know. All I remember is I got this book about periods, and it wasn't the American Girl one. And
was it animated? Not animated, but
well, yeah, they aren't gonna have a full 3D ass woman.
No, shut up.
So channel your inner
no,
woman.
So it was illustrated, with not cartoon characters, but they were drawn characters.
It was kind of drawn like the American Girl book, but it wasn't the American Girl book. I'm 100%.
Had a white cover on it.
I don't remember.
You don't remember.
I just remember it not being the American Girl book, and it was being a girl and how to be a girl at 11. Here's a free pad.
So did they show you said this was in 5th grade, right?
Yes.
So did they I remember they had to have us our parents sign a waiver thing, and they split us up into the groups of the boys and the girls, and basically was here's a video, your body is changing.
Yeah. They had us do that, and then they gave us free pads afterwards. And then some of the girls didn't know what to do with them, so I just remember walking around and seeing a pad stuck on the wall.
These poor little 5th grade kids just I don't know what.
It was those girls. It was those girls who definitely did not have their period yet, and they're I'm not gonna need this.
It's oh honey, you will.
Oh wow,
you will.
But listen, girl. You stuck your free book tampon or your free book pad on the wall a few months ago, and now you're Justin Timberlake Cry Me a River.
Well, they used
shouldn't they use your free book tampon? Also, I don't know if I would ever trust a free pad in a book.
Oh, it was in a packet. Not a packet.
Yeah, the pad was in the back of the book. Hey, congratulations,
no,
you finished the book. Here's a lifetime achievement.
Now.
Yeah, it was in the back of the book, and it was hey, congratulations, you finished figuring out how to be a girl. Now, here's your prize, a fucking pad in the back of the book.
Ta-da! Welcome to womanhood.
I also just don't know if I would. I don't know if I would trust it.
I mean, that's valid.
But I mean, in an emergency, I'm sure that that free pad in the back of the book probably came in clutch for somebody out there.
Oh, for sure.
So if you're listening to this podcast and you've ever used the free pad at the back of the womanhood book, leave a comment on our latest Instagram post and let us know your experience. And if you rated it a 1 to 5, 1 being bad and 5 being the best pad you've ever used. And if you don't use pads, speaking of pads,
yeah,
you got to experience something new last week.
Yes, I did.
You did.
I did.
Something new, something high flying,
something exciting,
and something very, very small.
Yes.
It was micro wrestling, bitches.
It was so entertaining. I'm not even gonna lie. It was great.
Okay, so just for the people out there who don't know what micro wrestling is, it's professional wrestling, but small. And that's really it. Like, it's very WWE, but tiny. And obviously, I know a decent amount about professional wrestling. It's a good time. I'm sure there's going to be people listening to the podcast like, ooh, I'm unfollowing fucking nerds. But like, you little nerds watching wrestling, that shit's fake. And I'm like, yeah.
It was so fun, though.
Yeah, you know what else is fake? You want to know what else is fake? The fucking Marvel movies. The Avengers. Robert Downey Jr. can't shoot shit out of his hands. Fucking Chris Hemsworth can't throw a hammer.
Also true.
You're fake if you don't like wrestling. Send. So yeah, like micro wrestling I feel like has been coming up on my For You page on TikTok for a few months, and it really all started with like they call them roll call videos. So all of the micro wrestlers are sitting at the edge of the ring and they just like name themselves off. And some of these people like they very much do a lot more character work than like if you watch something like WWE or AEW or like all the other like wrestling promotions, which yes, they do have characters, but I don't think they're as prominent as they used to be like in the 80s and the 90s where like everybody had a gimmick.
Oh yeah, and a persona, and they put effort into it. They're like, this is my shtick.
Yeah, and like, because like a lot of times like, I mean, obviously you're going to get like, you know, like good guys and bad guys and stuff like that in wrestling, but like some of my favorites are very just like, hey, it's me and I'm wrestling. Like Johnny Gargano is probably like one of my favorite like professional wrestlers as of recent. Like I love his story. I love his come up and everything. And he's just like himself. Like that's his birth name. You don't get like fucking Paul Bearer, the dude who escorts the fucking cowboy, the dead cowboy man who puts people in graves. That's the Undertaker, by the way.
I'm just like, what are we explaining? I'm so confused.
So micro wrestling, like basically everybody there has a fucking shtick.
Oh yeah.
They got a character. It's so good. And so after a few months of watching these like roll call videos, I get a video on my For You page from one of the micro wrestlers, and they're advertising a pay-per-view. And I said, bitch, if I'm watching this by myself, I'll watch it by myself. But this shit was $10. You get to keep it for life.
It was such a good time.
It's $10 and you get to keep it for life. So I was like, you know what? I don't fucking care. We're going to talk about micro wrestling. I said, Amanda, we're going to watch this if you like it or not. Are you glad you watched micro wrestling?
Dude, I'm so glad I watched micro wrestling. It was very entertaining. Their personas were so fun. Like, you can tell they put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They put so much effort into this. They're having such a good time. And it just made it, like, all the more fun to watch it.
Right. I mean, yeah, in general, wrestling's always kind of cheesy. But, like, it was cheesy in a good way, in a fun way, in an endearing way.
Yeah, and I think, like, the whole thing, like, when it comes to professional wrestling, like, people always give it a bad rap because of it being, like, entertainment and fake. But honestly, like, I don't know. I think my whole thing is, like, well, yeah, there's so much shit that's fake.
Right.
There's so much entertainment that we consume that obviously is fake.
Absolutely.
And if you're going into it, I don't know, fucking assuming that a man who has been exhumed from hell is going, well, and has half of his face burned off from a house fire that his brother committed, and he's gonna fight against some man who, I don't know, fucking loves beer. I'm talking about Kane versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at the moment.
Okay.
If you think that that's real, if you think, girl, I think we have something else to talk about. Just go into it being like, this shit is fake. They're still doing fucking stunts. Some of them are jumping off ladders.
Absolutely.
Like, every time I talk about wrestling, I talk about the Undertaker-Mankind match where Undertaker throws Mick Foley off of like a 30-foot cage into a table.
Damn.
And then he gets up and does it again. Mick Foley lost like 3 of his teeth and
my God.
3/4 of his ear. He came out like fucking mangled. I think he broke his arm too.
Jeez.
Like, so yeah, like some of it's fake, but also Mick Foley couldn't fake falling off of a 30-foot cage.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
I rest my case. And with that, Micro Wrestling's first
Wrestling.
pay-per-view, The Rivalry, where the Traveling Crew fought against the Tourist City Crew. They have a little like they have a little stadium or whatever in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Oh, howdy, y'all, at Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, with the Micro Wrestling. Yeah, like, oh my God, it was so fucking fun. So we're just going to go through each one of the matches really quick. So the first match was... Actually, you know what, before we do that, do you have any favorite characters?
Oh my God,
Any favorite
yes.
wrestlers?
Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Okay. So, you had us watch some of those roll call videos.
I did, because I
was
wanted you guys to
great.
get an idea of like the people that you might see, because I think almost all of them made an appearance in the pay-per-view.
No, so that was very helpful. Very helpful. Mr. freaking, what is his name? Mr. Zach Presley.
Zach Presley!
What's his shtick?
He was the like unwanted child of Elvis.
Yes, I'm like, oh my gosh, this man just come out here. Like, I was like, I can't. This is so funny.
good.
And he's only been in the circuit, they said, for like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
He was entertaining. He was funny.
He was so good. Like, I love his like coiffed up hair and the jacket, and he does the little dance moves with the feet
the
thing.
little hip swivels. Yep.
I was like, holy shit,
You're like,
Zach
look
Presley!
And then I can't remember his name, Mr. Discount Bruno Mars.
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod, thank you. He was, I mean, maybe it's his shtick, but I'm like, he's okay. He's kind of an ass, but that might just be his persona. That might be his thing. I don't know.
Love Hot Rod. I love like heel characters in wrestling. Heels are considered like bad guys. In wrestling, and faces are considered good guys.
Okay.
So like Hot Rod, I feel like just plays a really great heel character, because
He's definitely
like,
played it to a T.
I'm hot, you're ugly, you're all ugly and stupid and stink and smell bad. I'm like, yeah.
He really did. He
'Cause, like,
opened it up. He's like, I thought y'all were gonna be hot people.
Yeah.
But nah.
The first match in the pay-per-view was Zach Presley and Hot Rod. And it was a perfect, like, Zach Presley is, like, the everyman. He was, like, it was very, like, I use this very loosely because I don't mean it in a bad way at all. It is a very stereotypical face versus heel match.
That makes sense.
Where good guy versus bad guy, like underdog Zach Presley versus, like, the cool man Hot Rod. Hot Rod, I mean, you won't know this, and that's okay. Whoever else knows this, thank you. There's a wrestler who was in NXT for a while. His name was Velveteen Dream. Very similar, like, look and vibe to Hot Rod, where Velveteen Dream and Hot Rod are very, like, self-centered, egotistical, I am the best wrestler in the planet kind of characters.
Yeah.
And I love that. I was like, man, this Hot Rod just does such a good job. And the whole yeah, I'm so sexy and hot and cool. I'm like, damn. Fucking own it, man.
No, he was entertaining though. I'm just like, man, they're making me want to hate this guy, and I'm all for it.
And that's his job. His job as a heel is to be hated and for you to root for the good guy, Zach Presley. What other favorites do you have? Other favorite
my
characters?
God, Psycho was so fun.
Are you just gonna go the order of the matches?
No, I mean, it's kind of helping keep my brain organized, but no, Psycho was super fun.
Yeah, the second match was Psycho versus Pinky Shortcake, and it was the baby mama drama match.
I can't get over it.
I thought it was so funny that so Pinky and Psycho actually have a baby together. That's not like a storyline thing. That is an IRL.
They have an actual child.
They have a child, and normally co-ed matches, like male versus female matches, don't usually happen. So I thought it was very interesting that they did that. But a lot of the time, there was more of a story involved with that, of Psycho trying to get Pinky to go on a date with him, and Pinky's like, "You're stupid."
He's like, "But I love you and our baby, and here's a flower." And she's like, "Fuck that flower. I don't want it. I want to take the title." But no, the fact that his whole story, he's like, "Yeah, I was abandoned as a child at the fire station or something. And then I worked at the sanitation company because I could fit under the ground and they couldn't. And then I went to the asylum." And
the fact that they announced that he had escaped to the asylum the morning of the match to make it, I was like, oh my God, slay.
That was so good.
Man
that
comes out in a straight jacket, slay.
So they have him wear contacts, right? To do the weird eye effect thing?
I think so.
Because I was looking, I was like, those are not your real eyeballs, sir.
The one I think is a contact, but it could be real.
I mean, yeah, you never know. Either way.
Psycho from Micro Wrestling, if you're listening to this podcast, can you verify whether or not you're wearing a contact?
That is very true. Please email us at betweenthefridges@gmail.com.
We're going to get so many emails of how many times you're dropping this.
Well, if people would want to email us and, give us things that you want to do, like your fan fiction.
We can't talk about that right now. That's off topic.
Oh, you're right.
So anyways, Pinky versus Psycho. Psycho wins with the assist from Lil Chola.
And they don't like each other.
Yes, Pinky and Lil Chola are rivals. So that was really cool. I was like, yeah, I love my girl Lil Chola. Okay, you got a next favorite, or should I just go down the list of the matches and then you can talk about your favorites at the end?
I mean, if you just want to keep going, I think that's cool because that helps keep my brain organized.
Okay, so the next match was Micro Tiger and Disco Dom.
That was fun.
I love Micro Tiger. Micro Tiger, because each one of them did little little announcements. Not announcements. They did little promos, I should say. Where they're like, I'm so fucking cool and I'm gonna win this match. And then Micro Tiger gets up there and he gets the mic and all he does is go, meow.
I forgot about that. He didn't say anything.
It was my favorite. Micro Tiger is a huge fan favorite, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the, the mask thing, and then just meow.
He's basically Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he's like Rey Mysterio, but also very cool. Micro Tiger, meow. Oh my God,
that was the best. It was the greatest thing ever. Oh, my favorite part. My favorite part was the reveal.
Yeah, when Disco Dom went to take off Micro Tiger's mask, and then Micro Tiger was wearing another mask underneath the mask.
We were all cracking up. We're like, oh my God, it's another mask!
Well, because that's the whole thing, is because in luchador wrestling, everybody wears a mask, and if you take off the mask, that's giving away the identity of the wrestler, and therefore you can't really wrestle with that mask.
Right.
And,
we were all on the edge of our seats, and then it's like, it's another mask. He's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody breathed a sigh of relief,
But yes, even though I know that Micro Tiger is technically the fan favorite, I also really love Disco Dom. I love just his character. He's just super chill, and he's just, every time he comes onto the micro roll calls, he just goes, Disco Dom, baby.
He was super chill.
Disco Dom, baby. And it's just so cool. Up next, after Micro Tiger and Disco Dom, yes, was Flying Ryan and Jamaican Joe.
Jamaican Joe, man.
Flying Ryan is the very, like, I'm from New England, I'm from Boston, I love the Boston Bruins and the New England Patriots, and Pigeon Forge sucks. He's another, like, very stereotypical heel character like Hot Rod. And then Jamaican Joe is just this dude from Cleveland.
He's like, I'm Jamaican Joe.
He's like, no, he said it's because he's Jamaican American.
I think I missed that.
Yeah, he's Jamaican Joe because he's Jamaican American.
Jamaican Joe.
And that one was really fun. There was the gag with Jamaican Joe's wig.
Oh
like
my god.
His corn. Well, yeah, his
It was
like
so
his dreads.
funny.
His dreads not being his actual dreads. He just has like a shaved head and he's wearing a wig. That was really fun.
That was hilarious. We're kind of like, what the hell happened? And then you just see the wig come off. We're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then the dirty win from Flying Ryan. I knew it had to happen like at least once. I'm really glad it was a Flying Ryan. He just seems like that dirty little scoundrel who would, put his feet up and be like, yeah.
He's like, I did it.
Oh,
I'ma
also,
get ya.
while I'm thinking about it, some of the referees that were involved in the matches, like Little Miss, we can't forget about the refs.
That's true.
Little Miss, the King of Entertainment, Micro Jackson.
Micro Jackson. I like him. He's fun.
I love Micro Jackson. The dude moonwalked into the ring.
He really did.
He moonwalked into the ring, and then he did that, like, spin thing before he did the countdown to start the match. Micro Jackson.
With the glove and everything.
Yeah, with the glove. Because that's what happened. Because during the Jamaican Joe Flying Ryan match, Flying Ryan stole Micro
he took his
Jackson's
glove.
glove and he stuck it in his pants.
Gross.
Oh my god! It's disgusting! The penultimate match was the 11-man Royal Rumble.
That was so entertaining.
Yeah, the 11-man
oh my
Rumble.
god.
And the winner of the Rumble was going to move on to basically be qualified to be in the next match, well, the next pay-per-view to fight against the winner of the main event.
Right.
And so, like, some of the people from the other matches came back. Like
a couple ones we didn't get to see fight either.
Yes.
Were there too.
Andrew the Giant.
Yes.
Andrew the Giant was one of them. I know that, if I remember, I know that Psycho was in there. And Micro Tiger, Disco Dom, Hot Rod. Like, all of them. I think Lil Ben was in there too. But yeah, Psycho ended up winning the Rumble.
Yes, he did.
Which means he's going to be able to fight the winner of the main event.
Absolutely.
Which was brother versus brother for the unified title. Which was the Redneck Brawler Lil Show versus Baby Jesus.
I still can't over the fact he calls himself Baby Jesus.
Baby
That's
Jesus,
so
he's like
funny.
3'6" doing fucking flips. I'm like, what
Dude,
the heck?
yeah, he was just flip flopping all over the ring. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, he was like a little
Backflips.
And I'm just like, I felt so unaccomplished in that moment.
You want to do 5 backflips in a row?
I wouldn't be able to do like a single backflip. I've never been able to do like a fucking somersault.
Like ever?
No. And these people are doing 5 fucking backflips and fucking hamstrings and moonsaults and shit. I'm like, man, I need to fucking practice.
And you're like, he just turns himself into a little ball and like starts rolling around the ring or something.
Yeah, so brother versus brother, Redneck Brawler Little Show versus Baby Jesus. And they killed it.
They really did.
They really killed it. Like,
they did a good job.
Throughout the throughout the night, they were doing like little promos where Lil Show was like the big brother and Baby Jesus was the little brother, and Lil Show was just like, this is for all the big brothers out there, and blah, blah, blah. And then Baby Jesus is there and just like, well, he needs to stop sucking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and then they call him like Holy Man Baby Jesus and stuff.
Dude, it was so funny because you got him over here being, I'm like, I'm the older brother, I'm hard. And then Baby Jesus is like, hey, I'm chill. It's cool.
Yeah. But Lil Show took it home. So the next pay-per-view is going to be Psycho versus Redneck Brawler Lil Show.
That's gonna be so fun.
Oh my god.
A psycho go fucking crazy.
Also, the fucking referee for the Little Show Baby Jesus fight was Jay Mazing, who is my favorite. I love you, Jay Mazing.
Wait, is he the one that juggles?
He's the one that juggles. He was like the hip hop dancing, juggling clown guy.
Oh yeah, the clown.
Jay Mazing. I love
just his tagline. Jay Mazing.
I love Jay Mazing so much. I love him.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and also, we cannot forget about the commentary. I think it was that dude named Jeff. I think he's like the owner of the Micro Wrestling Federation.
That was the dude with the ball cap, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Ivar the Micro.
Dude, he's so fun. He's honestly a really good announcer.
Ivar is so good. He's got like the whole getup with the leather jacket and the gloves. He sings dad rock songs.
Oh yeah, I forgot he sings dad rock.
Yeah, he sings dad rock. Oh my god.
He seems like a cool dude.
And he's got like really good vocal work, and just like their commentary was just so funny.
It kept me engaged. I was just like, holy shit.
It was it was so good, and the little jokes in between. And Wendy Ferguson, the comedian Wendy Ferguson, doing her pre and post interviews.
That was funny. She's like, okay, back
Wendy
to you.
Ferguson.
Back to you. Oh my gosh.
So, okay, now that we've gone through that, you can finally answer my question.
Yes.
Do you have any favorite? Okay, no, before I ask that, top 3 matches of the night.
Top 3 matches.
It doesn't have to be in any particular order.
Okay. Definitely, I don't remember the technical term right now, but when they're all in the ring, the rumble or whatever.
The rumble.
Yeah. That was super fun because it's like you got all these dudes and girls tag teaming, like everybody trying to throw each other out of the ring. They're trying to like band together, and they're throwing like 300-pound dudes out of the ring just to toss them over the ropes. Like, it was freaking crazy. So that's happening, and I was like, man, this is entertaining because they're all just trying to like beat up on each other. There's so many people in this ring. My brain was kind of like do like ping pong ball. So that was super fun and really entertaining. The baby mama drama match was super fun. I just think Pinky and Psycho's characters are awesome, and together they are fucking hilarious. Because you got him who's like, baby, I love you. What about our family? I want to take you on a date. Like I said, he tried to give her a flower. I don't remember if she like ripped it, like took a bite out of it, or just like ripped it and stopped it or something. Ripped it. And he's like, no, that's like my heart. I don't want to fight you. And then she's all like, I got back in shape after I had this baby. Look at me. I'm about to take your title and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? So that was super funny. I thought that was really entertaining and great. And then I think my last favorite one was the Micro Tiger match, just because I don't know why. I just think he's a fun character. I think he's a fun wrestler, very entertaining. It kept us on the edge of our seats. We're rooting for Micro Tiger. He's down for the count. The whole reveal, adrenaline's pumping. Like, I thought it was great. I honestly think I'm into this more than I am actual professional wrestling. Because as you know, one of my clients super into wrestling, so like yes. I know what's going on, obviously, with like, you know, WWE and AEW and all that stuff. Because he loves himself some Roman Reigns. That's like his favorite character.
Yes.
In I know he's not a character. I need to call them wrestlers. They're not characters. They're wrestlers. But yeah, that's his favorite wrestler. And I was like, man, who would be the Roman Reigns of micro wrestling?
Ooh, who would be the Roman Reigns of micro wrestling?
Yeah, who do you think would be the Roman Reigns of micro wrestling?
Honestly, because like Roman Reigns is kind of seen as like the face, like the face of like when if you were to ask somebody who they think of when it comes to modern day wrestling, they probably would say Roman Reigns.
Right.
To me, I feel like the Roman Reigns of micro wrestling would probably be Psycho.
You know what? That makes perfect sense.
Psycho has like, he's got huge prominence. He's very, very popular on social media. People on TikTok love Psycho.
He's entertaining. Absolutely.
And so like, he's the one, like, he's got like a really good like foundational like backstory. The fans love him. Like he has like a very short, very easy to know catchphrase. His catchphrase is psycho, and
that's true.
And all the fans were chanting it during
they were going crazy.
The Psycho Pinky match and during the 11-man Rumble. They wanted Psycho to win. Even if they really loved like all the other characters, like all the other wrestlers in the ring at that moment, they all were rooting for Psycho.
Absolutely.
So to me, the Roman Reigns of micro wrestling is Psycho. You can't change my mind.
You know what? I think that's valid. For some reason, I thought you were going to go in a different direction and say, what's it say? Ivar? Is that his name? Ivar?
Oh, I think because Ivar does not wrestle, like...
that he's just essentially the voice.
Yeah, he's unable to wrestle because, like, I think I remember... either a comment from him or his wife saying that he has brittle bone disease.
Oh, that sucks.
He's unable to wrestle, which is why he does a lot of like commentary and announcing and stuff.
That's
like that.
cool though.
But like when you watch wrestling, and when like you can't really have a televised wrestling match or boxing or anything like that without your commentators.
That's so true.
And so like Ivar having that voice and knowing how to commentate like very well and in a way that's like is funny and informative, that's just as important as the match itself.
Absolutely. It's part of like, I don't want to call it a spectacle, but like it's part of, I just feel like the experience.
Right.
Like it's what brings you in. So like that makes sense. Like his situation is unfortunate, but like he does very well. He does a great job with his delivery, and you can see that like dude is committed to what he does, and that's so cool to see.
You ever think about what your wrestling character would be?
Like what my wrestling character would be?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? That's a valid question. What about you?
Mine would probably be like mine would be like crazy cat lady or some stupid shit. And then I'd have like a bunch of like stuffed cats on me, and when I walk out in the ring and everybody's
like a cat boa,
like a bunch of like, I don't know, like stuffed animal cats, and I walk out and they're like, "Woo, crazy cat Carly!"
Crazy cat Carly.
Or no, I would change my name to Carol. Crazy cat Carol, and I'm like, yeah,
Carol Baskin.
And then as I'm walking down to the ring, I'd throw my cats in at the audience.
They'd eat that up.
And then I would like, do one of those things like Roman Reigns when he like hits the bottom of the ring and then he's like, ooh. I'd hit the ring and I'd go, wow. Oh my God. Speaking of fantasies.
Yes.
I booted up The Sims for the first time in like, I'd say at least 6 months a couple days ago.
Has it really been that long?
It's been a real long time.
Like, I know it's been a minute, but I'm like, man.
It's not even that I don't like, it's not that I didn't like the game anymore or anything like that, because I love The Sims.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I love, like, basically it's like a big playground for me. But
it's so fun.
But I booted up The Sims for the first time, and the game was like, oh, hey, you need to do this, like, 6 gigabyte update. And I was like, cool, okay. And I, like, did it, obviously. And I booted it in. I like to look. Like, I'll like, Google, like, hey, what's the...
Right.
Like, what are the Sims patches that they're doing? And they, like, added so much, like... interesting stuff. I know I said this last night at like our little game night last night, but like I know y'all making fun of me, but like
no,
I thought it was cool.
Like, it is cool.
They had like little diabetic like glucose monitors and like hearing aids and little like top surgery scars. It's just like body hair. They got body hair now. And I was like, wow, like, it's taking The Sims, like, a million bajillion years, but, like, they've always, like, kind of been, like, pioneers of representation, like, in some ways. I'm not saying all of them, because their skin tone range was ass until, like, at least 2 years ago. But, like, they've always had like the ability to have like LGBT relationships, and you know, like it's in the past couple years that they've like really been like, okay, like if people wanted to, just like what pronouns do the Sims have, what gender preferences do they have, and like attraction, because basically every Sim was pansexual. And that was like a glitch when they made the first game that they just kept.
Gotcha.
Which is very interesting. But yeah, I just thought it was so cool. Just
Well, no, that's awesome, because I mean, representation is super important. And I mean, with a game as big as The Sims, which I mean, you know, I've seen The Sims, but I've never actually played The Sims. So kind of like just watching you and your creative process, and like, you know, making your little families, and like doing your little deep dive and seeing, okay, well, what's added, and kind of what can I add to this person, or how does this, you know, make someone be unique. I just think it's so cool. And just like the fact that they have brought all of that stuff into the game, it's important for people to see that and for that to be out there. So I think that's exciting.
yeah. Yeah, I thought so, at least.
So speaking of updates, so I obviously just have been busy. I didn't have time. So I had to reactivate my Nintendo Switch Online membership.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I pay for not just like the individual membership, which I mean, that'll, you know, get you online gaming and all that stuff that it comes with. But I add the expansion pack. So that gives me access to a bunch of stuff. So I was really excited because I hadn't really been on it, or, you know, just for lack of time. But they added Game Boy, like the Game Boy expansion pack, and Game Boy Color. And I was super excited.
Didn't they add Game Boy Advance too?
Or wait, maybe it's not. Maybe it is Game Boy Advance. You know what? I think you're right.
Because I think they have the Game Boy and Game Boy Color like combined into one, and then they have the Game Boy Advance games in another.
You know what? I can tell you. Yep. Okay. So So they have the Game Boy as one pack and the Game Boy Advance as the other pack. Because for the icon that they have, like the one with the Game Boy Advance with the purple skin, that is legit the exact same Game Boy Advance that I have.
Me too.
It's in my closet.
Aw.
I still have all the games I would play on it.
Me too.
What games did you have?
I think I had a lot of like Disney Nickelodeon properties, if I remember. I know that I had a lot of Nickelodeon properties. I had you ever heard of Tack? Like Tack and the Power of Juju?
That sounds familiar.
It was like a Nickelodeon show. My parents got it for me because they thought that I watched it, but I never watched Tack and the Power of Juju. But I loved the game.
So familiar.
I loved the game. Are you consulting Gene Oogle about that?
You know what? I am about to consult Gene Oogle.
Oh, it's up to the Gene Oogle thing song.
It's up by Gene Oogle. It's up by Gene Oogle.
Oh, okay. Yes, this looks familiar. I never watched that either.
Yeah.
But
my parents got me the game, and I had so much fun playing it. What else did I have? I had the Fairly Odd Parents, Breaking the Rules.
that's right. You did.
I did. I had the Mary-Kate and Ashley dance game.
I never had that one, but I remember that game.
Yeah, that shit was kind of ass. But also, it makes me really happy that I did have an experience playing that because, fun fact, that was the reason why I started watching Super Mega's YouTube channel, because that's the first video that they played. Well, the first video that they posted, other than their intro video, was a playthrough of the Mary-Kate and Ashley dance game that I had in 2003, and I was like,
You're like, oh my gosh, it's real.
And I think they named it like, you know, like two grown-ass men play Mary-Kate and Ashley, and I was like, yes.
You're like, I want to watch this. That's so funny, though.
What else did I have? I mean, I had so much. Like, I had like a couple Harry Potter games. I had like a few Legend of Zelda games. Like, I had like Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. I had A Link to the Past. What what else? I feel like I had like in some way I feel like I had so many that I like
You just lost track.
and it's not even like I had a ton of them. Like I maybe had like at most like 15 or 20. I also had like the Game Boy Advance port for Yoshi's Island.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
I had Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga.
That's a fun one.
Made me so mad when my Game Boy Advance, because I had a Game Boy Advance and then I also had a Game Boy Advance SP. It was the one that like flipped.
Oh yeah.
Got so mad because my left and right trigger buttons stopped working.
No.
And also my profile got deleted. I'm not gonna say who. Christopher. But what about you? What did you have?
Oh my gosh. So dude, so we got our Game Boy Advances for Christmas one year. I had the purple one. My brother got the gray one. And so I was super excited because like, our age group, it's like, the N64 was like a big thing. And I mean, I would go to my best friend's house when I was younger and we would play like the Simba game and the Aladdin game. Yeah. And so like I downloaded that pack for the N64 or not N64, but for the Switch because they had the dual game pack. I was like, yes, nostalgia, let's go. But yeah, it was super cool. I remember we got like they got us like both little pouches with it. It was like a case. And then, do you remember like the attachment? It was like the little magnifier thing. Like you'd snap it on there and you'd lift it up. It was like a magnifying thing. So you could see the screen bigger.
Or like the light too.
Yep. We had the light. We had the magnifier.
Yeah.
We would take those on road trips. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, one of my favorite games, and I'm excited because they have it on the Switch for the expansion pack for the Game Boy Advance. Super Mario Bros. 3, it had this one level, like you split the game, you had to play the game where you go through all the levels, and then you have just one. I think it was called like Mario Bros. Or something, where it's like you play multiple levels as Mario and you have to like get rid of like the spiky, I don't remember what they're called, but they're like the little turtle shell dudes with spikes on them, or like these little dudes that have wings. Again, I don't remember what they're called, but like they're jumping and flying at the same time. You have to like bop them up and knock them out. And they had like these little gas bubbles where if you got the gas, you would die and lose your lives and stuff. So I would play the shit out of that. So that is on there. I was really excited. I had a SpongeBob game. I don't remember what the game is called, but you would like go through Bikini Bottom and like play the different levels. And
I'm pretty sure my brother had this game too.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. It wasn't your technical like little rectangle. Like what the heck are they even called? The game cartridges. It was a square and like you popped it in. So like part of it stuck up. It wasn't like in the Game Boy, like the normal triangle, or not triangle, but the normal like rectangle ones were.
It may have been just a Game Boy Color game then, because I know the Game Boy Color games were backwards compatible, with the Game Boy Advance games.
I don't remember. I just remember that some of the cartridges were different. Like there were the square cartridges and there were like the rectangle ones, like for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was a Game Boy Color game.
You're probably right. It must have been. It's literally buried in my closet somewhere. So after this or this weekend or something, I'm gonna go look for my stuff and see what the heck I actually have.
Right.
Because oh my gosh, my brother would play that one. We played a Shrek game. I don't remember what it was called, but you had to get through the levels and then you had to battle Farquaad as like the giant headed dude. So that was always a good time. I had a Kim Possible game where I had to like go through the different levels and you could use her lipstick to like blast the enemies and stuff. And it would take you through all the different levels. I think one was the mall. The other was Camp Wannaweep, and then you had to, I think at one point, like beat Draken and Shigo or something like that. So that was always a fun one. A very random one that I don't feel like a lot of people know about. I would play Earthworm Jim.
Yes.
Earthworm Jim was fun. I don't remember the plot because it's been a really long time since I played it. But I think it was you were like in a junkyard or something.
Yeah.
And I think that I think there was a TV show at one point, but don't completely quote me on that.
Oh, so that sounds correct.
I mean, it might be, because I definitely feel like that was like a kids WB kind of deal, but I
Yeah.
could be very wrong. I'll have to consult Gene Oogle later. But yeah, what else did I have? My brother had a Bionicle game. I remember that. He had the Bionicle game. Again, I never played with Bionicles, so I don't know nothing about them. But he loved that game. He played the Bionicle game.
Bionicles kind of weirded me out when I was a kid. I was like, what the
I
fuck
was like,
is
what?
this?
They're like stick robot dudes with like glowing eyes, basically, right?
yeah, I was like, what the hell is this?
I don't know. But yeah, he had a Bionicle game. Then I had Crash Bandicoot, which I was really
Game Boy?
Yeah, on the Game Boy. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I believe you.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
No, I believe you.
I'm about to look in all my games and see what I actually have, because now I'm like, man, now I'm questioning my memory. But no, I bought the original trilogy for the Switch because it was on sale for like $16.
Yeah, those have been out for a while.
Yeah, I think they did that one, and then there was like a newer one that came out, but I was like, no, I want this one for the nostalgia.
I want to get Crash Team Racing so I can make them all fart and stuff.
Crash Team Racing. Oh yeah, is that the one where they like have the go-karts and stuff?
That's Mario Kart, but Crash
No.
themed.
Well, no, I thought that wasn't there like a game where they just did it just for the specific characters that wasn't like Mario related?
No, it's like Mario Kart, but it's Crash themed.
Oh, I definitely did not get what you were saying.
You're like, is this the Crash Bandicoot expansion pack for Mario Kart?
Shut up! No, I was like, yeah, that's a game, right? Shut up, Amanda. Oh my gosh, but yeah, it's been so much fun. I have been playing Mario Bros nonstop, just because I was like, I gotta get past the level. I gotta get to the higher level. I think I've only ever gotten to like level 9 or something. Like
Okay.
I've never gotten really, 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 really high levels in that game. The only thing that sucks is that you literally have to start over from the very beginning after you lose all your lives.
Yes.
But
They were ruthless.
They really
were
were.
ruthless. They were like, you die, you're
you're
dead.
done.
You're dead. Reincarnated at the beginning, bitch.
Oh my god.
Man, and I just remember when you had purchased it, and I was like scrolling through because I was like, I want to see what kind of games they had. Granted, I still have my Nintendo 64.
Yes.
From when I was like very young. So like some of the games that were like uploaded to like the Nintendo 64 like database, like I have them.
Yeah.
I saw Mario Tennis. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here we go.
You would fuck up some Mario Tennis. I remember, oh my god, the one day we were just
Yeah, like on your Switch or my 64.
I'm pretty sure we were playing it on the 64.
I'm pretty sure too.
Because wasn't that the same day we were like, yeah, Pokemon Stadium, let's go.
Yeah, I don't think we ended up playing Pokemon Stadium.
I think we did at one point. Because I definitely remember you booting it up. When, I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure we played Pokemon Stadium at one point.
I would fuck up Pokemon Stadium right now. I've been seeing like a few people on TikTok Live playing it. And they're going through like, I think they're more playing Pokemon Stadium 2.
Okay, because you have both of them, right?
I do have
Okay,
both of them.
okay.
And Pokemon Snap. And
Ooh.
Hey You Pikachu.
Hey, you Pikachu.
I would fuck it up if whoever the Nintendo if they remastered Hey You Pikachu, I would be first in line. I'd be like, one Pikachu, please.
Be like, take my money.
Well, because like I got so attached to my Pikachu. He was like my little best friend when I was a kid. I was like, I loved my Pikachu. I don't even remember. In my head, I named him. I don't remember what I named him, but I definitely named my Pikachu. And he was like my little best friend living in my fucking Nintendo 64.
Aww.
Yeah, and it came with like a microphone, and you like talk to him.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, bitch. And then he'd turn around and be like, hey.
And then I just called him a bitch. Yeah.
And then I'd get mad at him when I'd say, carrot. because like there's like a little thing where you have to like talk to him and have him grab certain vegetables and to make a soup for the Bulbasaurs.
Oh my gosh, he made soup. That's so cute.
Right, but he has to make sure you have to grab the right ingredients. Like Bulbasaur's like, hey bitch, you need to grab 1 cabbage, 1 carrot, 1 tomato.
So they were very specific with what they wanted him to get.
1 I don't know, onion. And Pikachu's like, cool, bitch. And then we're running around the field, and then we pass a carrot, and they're like, oh, carrot.
Carrots.
Goes and grabs a fucking apple, and and then you have to like verify. He's like, this it? And I said, no. And then he calls the fucking Magnemite to take the apple over Bulbasaur, and I'm like, no, he's gonna have a shitty ass soup now. Why would you do that?
That's so good. Oh my
I was so
gosh.
mad. My
That's
favorite
so
thing I
good.
would do though is at your house that you live at.
Okay.
Your mom or somebody apparently grows vegetables,
Okay.
and they have corn growing in there. So I'd have
Oh my god, not corn.
I would have my Pikachu thunderbolt the corn and make popcorn.
You know what? That's so genius.
Yeah, it would the corn would turn into like a movie theater red and white popcorn.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I love that.
And I'm like, you can eat that.
That's so
You
good.
made that with your own bare hands. You can eat that.
I love it. That's so good.
If they had Hey You Pikachu on Nintendo Switch, I'd fuck it up.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
Speaking of never knowing,
Yeah.
thanks everybody for coming to the 10th episode, the 10th inaugural episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. Amanda, do you have anything that you'd like to say before we close it out?
I am very happy we made it to 10 episodes. It has been so fun so far. I am still having a great time just hanging out with you and just talking about random stuff. But yeah, it's been super fun. It's been a great time.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
Are you having a good time?
If you guys want to follow us on it, I'm kidding.
means no.
No, I'm kidding. I'm having a great time. Thank you guys for joining us today. If you would like, we've dropped it 500 times today. If you have any content suggestions or want to send me a fan fiction to read, feel free to send us an email at betweenthefridges@gmail.com. All of our social media handles are in the description of these episodes. Obviously, we love to have you here. So that sounded so disingenuous. Like we
really love to have you here.
fucking love you, I guess. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for joining us this week and every week.
Yes.
My name is Carly.
I'm Amanda.
And we will see you all next week.
Yeah.
So I just got this notification. Man, we're gonna have to talk about this next week.
Okay.
Black Eyed Peas' My Humps ripped off by pooping unicorn toy lawsuit claims.
Oh, what?
And that's how we'll start next week's episode.